Now that you understand how to pass an entire array to a method, let's look at how to pass just a single array element. So here's an example of a method named modifyElement that takes in a single array element. And since our array is of type integer, then the method accepts an integer data type. This doesn't look any different than when we're passing a simple integer value that has nothing to do with an array. And really, the underlying concept isn't any different. In this case, taking the array item that's being passed in and doing a multiply equals by 2, and you can see when calling the modifyElement method, just to pass one particular element from the pre-array, you have to reference just a single element using the square brackets and whichever element you want. So position 0 is a 5. Let's do position 1, which is a 6. And so it passes the value 6 into the modifyElement method, multiplies by 2, and then prints out the entire array. So when you run this, you'll notice a difference. We still have 5, 6, 9, and 10. So the difference here is when we passed an entire array to a method, we passed it by reference. So the entire copy of the reference was sent to the method, and the method then had access to change the values in memory doing the multiply equals. When we pass a single argument, whether that single argument is in itself a simple type, or in this case, a single element in an array, then we pass it by value. So the copying operation that I previously talked about takes place. The method can change it, and it would change locally. So if we printed it here, then we would be able to see that. But by the time it passes it back to the main, when the for each runs, it's accessing the array, which wasn't changed in that copy operation. So when we run the program, we can see that the 12 is there, which is the 6 multiplied by 2, but the array itself remains unchanged. So remember, when you're passing just a specific element to a method, you're passing by value, but when you pass the entire array, you're passing it by reference. And it is important to know the distinction between the two.